Good evening and welcome to this January 2nd edition of the Norfolk Select Board meeting. My name is Kevin Calcutt. I am joined by my fellow board members Jim Lehan and Anita Mecklenburg, and we'd like to wish everybody a very happy new year. Our first item tonight is the Pledge of Allegiance. If you could please join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all very much. Justin, would you mind taking us through our agenda this evening?
Yes. This evening, the board is going to consider possibly appointing members for the school building committee. We have a contract to award some drug testing as part of our surge contracts. Vote to approve a new taxi license, as well as consider the Chapter 61 right of refusal option that we discussed at a previous board meeting. That's it on the agenda for this evening.
Nice and light. Love it. So that brings us to our first item this evening, which is our public comment period. This is the period of the meeting where if anybody would like to join the board to share for around 3 minutes with an item that falls within the scope of the select board or the town administrator, they're welcome to do so. At this point, we'll ask, is there anybody who would like to share for public comment tonight? I am seeing no interest in public comments. So we will be moving on to our next agenda item, which is to consider appointing members to the school building committee. Justin, what do you have for us?
Just a quick background. The school building committee, this was formed at the November special town meeting, excuse me. And so as part of the school committee, based on the charter, there would be 3 appointments by the select board. So the town received 5 applications. Those applications are in your packet, and the select board has to make a decision on 3 appointments to this school committee. Just general reference for the composition of the committee, it's going to be the school superintendent, the town administrator, the building commissioner, who's non-officio, 2 members of the school committee, and then the 3 appointments that the select board will appoint.
Very good. Thank you so much. So I think that logic would dictate that we should invite anyone who is here and applying to come up and join us for a moment just to speak about their interest in the committee, maybe field a couple of questions, and we can make our way through the group before deliberation.
I think that's a good approach.
Sound good with you, Jim?
Fine. Yep.
Anita?
Yeah, sounds perfect.
Very good. Well, in that case, I will start with the first one in our book, which is Mr. Whalen. Is Mr. Whalen here?
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Come join us in one of the cozy chairs. So first and foremost, thank you so much for your interest in the committee. We truly appreciate your willingness to contribute. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your interest.
Yeah, so we moved to Norfolk about 1.5 years ago. We've got 2 kids at HOD in 2nd grade. And I just saw this as an opportunity to kind of help, town move forward with some, I know education and building new schools is kind of a hot topic and has been for a couple of years. So any way I could help, throw my hat into the ring and see what I can do to help out.
Fantastic, thank you. Do you have any professional experience or background that would lend itself to a project of this nature?
Sure. So I'm currently a director of manufacturing for a cell and gene therapy company out of Boston. Historically, I've worked on several startup projects, from greenfield projects from start, bare bones, to all the way to mechanical completion, all the way to qualification, detail design, conceptual design, basis of design, helped with the RFPs. Kind of just been doing it for a while now.
Fantastic. A lot of the procedural background. That's great. Anita?
I think that there will be a bit of a, well, I guess I'm kind of hoping there'll be a bit of a hurry up, because there's a hope that the committee will have something to bring to the Maytown meeting. And so in terms of evening availability, that I think that would be an important thing to say. Would you be available in the evenings?
Yeah, that would actually be the ideal time is, after working hours. Definitely be able to show up. We're not very far.
That's all.
Jim?
Well, I guess I differ a little bit with my fellow select board member. Hurry up, yes, but getting it right is more important.
That's true.
This project has 2 parts to it. you need to, you're going to be hiring a consultant where you'll be reviewing data. That data will reflect the degree of the need. That data needs to be rock solid. And what I'm hoping is that people that are serving on this will look at this holistically. There's nothing more important in our community than schools. We have had 5 major school projects in the last 30 years in the town of Norfolk, including the high school and the middle school. And if this is needed, we need to stand up in the street corner and shout. But we need to be sure that those numbers are rock solid. Because it's going to be an interesting sell, because the financial impact of this, if the prior proposal is brought forward in similar design, it's going to be somewhere around a $40 to $50 million project. The tax impact of that, along with the fire station, which will be coming on board, on the average household will be a 20 to 25% increase in the taxes. If that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. Because there's nothing more important than the classroom.
Yep.
So I'm not in any way suggesting that this isn't a needed project. What I'm hoping is that we will look at this to be sure that when we bring it forward, we can support everything that's in that book. I think that's critically important. If that can get done by May, great. If it can't, it's okay. Because it needs to be right.
Fair enough.
So, and more importantly, especially you being new in town, thanks for raising your hand.
Yeah, yep,
We
no
appreciate
problem.
it.
So may I piggyback on that? I feel like it is important to get it right, and it is important for the community to know that we did process in terms of making sure we've dotted our i's and assessed the need in a way. So I agree completely with Mr. Lehan. I guess I was asking about availability because I felt like this, in order to get that accurate data that we need in that window of time, it seems like it's going to take more meetings than we would normally meet in a normal time. So that's why I asked that time question. And I believe that I'm hoping that we are going to have, be able to cleverly do this in a way that we don't have the kind of tax impact that Jim is saying. It might realistically be that, but hopefully not. So thank you.
Do we have any other questions for Mr. Whaley?
Yeah, one. Project management, do you feel that, I'm trying to think how I can say this. It can be a complicated process, and I know I've been on building committees and felt very not prepared and not capable, because I don't have that, I'm a finance guy. So I don't have any construction background. And so in that regard, may be viewed as a poor choice for having served on them, because having some of that knowledge, I know, for example, the fire building committee had a number of people that have a lot of experience in that kind of field. I did not. And it was a push for me to try and stay up to speed on some of that stuff. Are you comfortable with that? I know, because it's not in your background.
No, I am. Like I said, I've worked on several startup projects, everything from, helping project management, schedules, budgets, to reviewing P&IDs, layouts, kind of from end to end at one point in my career. Maybe not all at once, and I currently do a very similar role to project management on my day-to-day activities right now. For better or for worse.
Great.
That's what I do.
All right.
Sometimes
Thanks.
better than others.
And thanks again for volunteering.
Yeah.
You got any other questions?
No other questions?
Nope.
All right, Mr. Whalen, thank you so much. Truly appreciate it once again. And as we go through the rest of this evening, we'll absolutely be back in touch with what we're going to be doing moving forward.
Okay.
Thank you. The next applicant that I have here is Mr. Thomas. Is Mr. Thomas here? I do not believe so, so we'll move on to our next one. Mr. Lucarello? Welcome, sir. Fantastic, thank you.
You're from Glen Rock, right?
I am from Glen Rock.
Grew up on Cliff Lake.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. You have New Jersey connection already. All right.
Welcome.
So, Mike, why don't you give us a little bit of your background and why you're interested in the position?
Sure. I moved here, I believe, 5 years ago. My wife was finishing up grad school when I bought our house. Then she joined me. I'm 31, she's 29. We're looking to be here for the long haul. I try to attend town meetings when I could, and I've had a desire to get more involved for a while now. After going to the last special meeting and seeing that this was going to be a position that opened, I thought it'd be a great opportunity. Again, I think I want to bring an objective voice to the table. I'm in agreement with Mr. Legan here, where if the need is there, then I would absolutely endorse the project. But I also want to, I don't currently have children. We plan to in the future, so any investment made will benefit us. At the same time, I think sometimes when people maybe are already in the system, they're just down to, whatever it is, whatever it costs, doesn't matter. And I think there's a real effect on the townspeople, and most of whom don't necessarily have children in the system. So I think bringing an objective, accounting background will be a big value add for the committee.
Absolutely. It says here that you are an accountant by trade, so you have experience in working with budgets, forecasts, numbers of the sorts.
All the above, yeah.
Beautiful. And just to be sure, have you ever served in any kind of capacity with town government before?
No, I volunteered on my sportsman's club as the treasurer before, but I've never been in town government. I figured, best time to jump in, why wait till, gotta start getting experience somewhere, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. Jim, any questions?
No, not really. No, thanks for volunteering. Welcome to Norfolk.
Thank you.
Yeah. Even though there's a New Jersey connection, those things do happen.
I'll jump right in. You're going to love it here, and thank you for coming.
I've been here for 5 years. I've been enjoying it for a while now.
And thank you for coming to town meeting. You're in the minority there, so thank you.
I don't think I have any other questions. Do you have any other questions for us?
I don't believe so.
Fantastic. Well, in that case, thank you once again for throwing your name in the hat. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll let you know.
Sounds good.
Next on our list is Mr. Chafkin. Is Mr. Chafkin in attendance tonight? It does not appear to be so. So our next one is Mr. Ryan, who I believe is joining us virtually. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Good, doing very well. Nice to meet everybody. Apologies for having to join virtually. We're in COVID country right now at my house, so.
Very sorry to hear that. Hopefully the symptoms are light and recovery is quick. We were in the same position over the Christmas break, so understood. So why don't you take a moment to just tell us a little bit about your interest in the position and your relative experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a lifelong resident of Massachusetts. Just recently moved to Norfolk from Medfield with my wife and two twin 4-year-olds back in July. So new residents of Norfolk, but our children will be going into the HOD school system next year. So obviously have a lot of interest in the school systems and what that looks like going forward. I have a background in financial services. I work for an asset management firm in Boston. I have a finance background and also oversee a digital marketing team. So I'm very much focused on project management, working with outside consultants, as well as assessing data to make sure that we're leveraging data to make sure that we're appropriately allocating resources, et cetera. So very much a data-focused, data-driven person with project management skills, and it sounds like might be able to complement some of the other folks that are throwing their hat in the ring as well.
Absolutely, thank you. If you could just let me know, do you have any experience with town government roles, whether it be boards, committees, volunteer positions, anything of the sort?
Yeah, no, this would be my first. I have experience with other boards through charitable organizations, but this would be my first town government.
Perfect, thank you. Anita?
And I just have to say, be sure to say hi to Ann for me, because Ann McKenzie was a real fixture in the schools for a very long time. I had the privilege of working with her. So thank you very much. I forgot to ask the other gentleman, but in terms of availability in the evenings, is it evenings, Vicki? The meetings? In terms of availability in the evenings, is that something that would be a problem for you?
Not a problem at all. I'm usually, in the area by 5 o'clock, and can be available as needed.
Thank you. I jumped in.
No, no,
Shouldn't
good.
have-
Just one question. First, I too knew Ann McKenzie, and I want to second what Anita said. She was an incredible person in our schools, and I just echo what Anita has said on her. I knew her
That's
well.
great.
So.
I will pass
Wonderful
that
person.
along.
Just a question, again, following up on Anita's. Sometimes these meetings historically have taken place during the day. Would you be able to carve out some time to do that?
Yeah, I can be flexible.
I should have asked that earlier to the other candidates, too. I apologize for that.
I can be flexible as necessary.
Okay. All right, thank you. And thanks for raising your hand.
Any other questions for Mr. Ryan? No? Well, in that case, thank you so much, sir. Greatly appreciated once again. And like I said, once we get through our deliberations, we'll be back in touch.
Excellent. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we jump to our... Wait, is that it? I'm sorry.
That's it.
3, 4, 5, that is it, okay. Before we wrap up, was there other questions we did not get to ask any of the other candidates that we wanted to just get out of the way? I know that you had said you were asking about meeting availability.
Meeting availability, will that be,
I've transitioned to being self-employed, to picking up the tax practice, so I'm pretty flexible.
thank you.
And that would include potentially daytime?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I should have asked that too, Anita. That's because I know some of the meetings historically have taken place during the day. Great, thanks.
Good. All right, Justin, anything else that we need to do before we deliberate on a decision for appointment?
No, I would just say I think Ms. Medora Champagne's on here, as well as Vicky Saldana. Ingrid couldn't make it this evening, if that matters for you all, but you've asked all the questions. We did send an invite to all of the applicants, and these are the people that have appeared.
Medora, did you want to add anything before we go into deliberation?
No, thank you so much for asking, but obviously this is the decision of the select board, so we appreciate everyone's time, and I appreciate that, not only that some more people than are needed showed up to volunteer, so that's fantastic. I'm happy to see that, and we look forward to working with whomever is appointed to the board. Thanks.
Thank you, Medora. So for the purpose of just completeness, I'm going to just quickly go over the applications from the two individuals that were unable to be here tonight, just so that we could have that on the record. Our first one was from Mr. Kirk Thomas, who identifies that he has 2 children in the school system and a 26-year member of the Carpenters Union. He has not previously served on any boards or committees, but he did cite that he did complete the New England Carpenters Apprenticeship Program, OSHA 30-hour, 5 times, USCG 9405. That he's available anytime except for 4 a.m. to 3 p.m. Do we have 4 a.m. meetings? Lord.
Not in this time zone.
Our other application was from Mr. Zach Chafkin. He identified that he would like to help advise the board during the different construction phases. He also has not served in any other capacity on board or committee. He identifies that he is a Massachusetts journeyman plumber, also OSHA 30 certified, medical gas certified, refrigeration license, and identified that he is available as needed. He also cited that he has worked in various parts of the construction industry since March of 2003, commercial, residential, and industrial. He is also currently a Local 12 plumbing general foreman for E.M. Duggan. So now that we have all of our applicants and relative information in front of us, I will open it up to discussion about the board's preference one way or another. Jim, let's start with you.
I was hoping you'd go left. I just appreciate the fact that we've got 5 people willing to volunteer. Getting folks to volunteer for these kinds of things are difficult, and this is a long-haul commitment that you're making. If this goes forward, this is a year and a half, 2 years. It's going to take a lot of time, and your willingness to commit to that is much appreciated. I could put 5 names in a hat and pull out 3, and I think be very happy with the turnout, because I think we've got 5 great candidates, and I'm not quite sure how to work our way through that. I don't know what else to say. Just other than thank you. We're usually begging for volunteers, and sometimes to have choices is difficult.
Anita?
I echo the same thing. I'm so grateful to the people who took the time and energy and brought their passion for the schools into this. And so it's very exciting to have 5 candidates, but I too had angst about tonight's meeting because it's how do you choose when you have 5 people who are prepared to support your schools and to look forward. I think the one variable that we have that is something we could consider is we have 3 people here in the meeting, and perhaps that weights those 3 applications over the others, which is no offense to the people who are not here, but that's all I can imagine at this time without the information of their presence.
Thank you. From my position, I think that we have a fantastic, varying breadth of experience here to be able to consider that will obviously be able to lend itself to the workings of the committee and be able to contribute in a meaningful manner to some of the discussions and decisions that'll be before them in the coming months. I love the idea of having a tradesman on the committee as well to be able to offer their experience both from a carpenter's perspective and from a plumbing perspective. But to Anita's point, we do have 3 individuals that had the opportunity to come here and share with us tonight, and I would be inclined to appoint these 3 individuals with a huge consideration given to both Kirk and Zach to please be involved as much as possible, even as not a member of the named committee itself, just because that experience is going to be invaluable as we move forward. So from my position, I would support appointing Mr. Whalen, Mr. Lucarello, and Mr. Ryan this evening. If anybody has an objection, please feel free to oppose it.
I have none.
I have none either.
Very good. Well, in that case, I will take a motion to appoint. Justin, there's nothing wonky that we have to do with this motion, correct?
No, nothing wonky, no.
And just a point of clarification, and Justin, it's really for you, or Kevin as chair, where this is a board that is actually full, even though it's specified the participants involved, I think we have to formally vote on all, not that we wouldn't vote for it, but I think we have to name all of the 7 people that are serving on that board as a point of clarification. It may be just a point of order, but the 2 school committee members are, I mean, I know who they are, but I think we should formally approve them to be on the board because it doesn't specify that in the bylaw.
It's a valid, I see it.
I mean, this isn't.
I see it, yeah.
I just want to be sure we do it right.
Yeah, no.
I think that where there are 5 members of the Norfolk School Committee, they have requested 2 to be
2,
appointed.
because they can't have a quorum.
So I just think those 2 should be included in the motion so that it's formally done. The others are really named by position, where those 2 are not.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with doing that. I don't think it's
Just a point of formality
necessary
so that they're
because
formally appointed.
The school committee, with the way the bylaw reads, is whoever is the lead on the committee would appoint 2 members. But I hear your point to say, hey, just formalize it.
If you think the bylaw covers it from that perspective, I'm fine. I just want to be sure that we do it right.
I do believe it covers it from that
Then
perspective.
I withdraw the request.
No, it's a valid point, though, but I believe it covers it.
And this is being done for a 1-year term, Justin, is that correct?
I think it's the duration of the project.
I would not put a term on it. Yeah, I would just allow for
We
it.
did put terms on the Fire Station Building Committee.
The only reason why I probably wouldn't do a term on it is because I think you might have 2 phases of this project, depending on how it goes. And I think the school committee wants to try to be great, but I don't want to put a timeline on that. I think I probably would just appoint the members and then determine after you get the studies and various things after that, and then consider it afterwards there. So maybe, you know.
Does anybody want to change their mind now that you know that it's a forever appointment?
Can I just add to Justin's comment, if I may?
Right ahead,
I mean, while I make the comment that I don't want it rushed, I also don't want it made more difficult. And so I agree with Justin. I wouldn't put any terms on this. If May is the date, May is the date. Then we move forward, and whatever it is, it's okay. But I wouldn't want to encumber them with any time restrictions for or against this process. Let it just work its way through.
Okay. I don't have any qualm with that. In that case, I will take a motion to appoint the 3 gentlemen.
Would you like me to do it?
Feel free.
I move that we appoint Jason Whalen, Michael Lucarello, I hope I'm saying that correctly, and Michael Ryan to be members of the school building committee.
I will second.
Hearing a second. Justin, anything we missed?
No.
All right. On that case, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, and that is a unanimous vote. Thank you all
Thank
very
you.
much once
Thank
again.
you.
Best
Thank you.
wishes on your journey. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks.
very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, our next item this evening is to vote to approve awarding a contract to Advantage Drug Testing for the administration of the town's drug and alcohol testing program for municipal employees. Justin, what else do we need to know?
We're a member of the Surge Group, and this is one of the services that they go out and contract for. This will largely cover our Norfolk DPW employees. It's a 3-year contract. I would ask if the board would, to execute this, they authorize me to sign the agreement. Pretty standard contract, and all member communities have already actually started the process to approve this contract already.
Very good. I don't have any further questions. Anita?
None?
None.
Jim, none. In that case, I will entertain a motion to approve and to designate Justin as the authorized signatory.
I move to approve awarding the contract for Advantage Drug Testing Company to administer the town's drug and alcohol testing program, whose contract will be authorized to be signed by the town administrator.
Second?
Hearing a second, any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that is a unanimous vote as well. Thank you. Our next item this evening is to vote to approve a new taxi license for 2024 for Jose Transportation LLC. Justin?
Yes. The board might be wondering why this wasn't taken up at our previous meeting when we did a bunch of different licenses. This is when the board took up those previous licenses, they were renewals. This is a new license. And so this gentleman came to the town in September and was looking to sort of have a livery service to the airport. He's passed the choreo already. He has some other conditional things. So if the board were to approve this new license, which we have there's been no reason why not to approve the license of the board, I would ask that the board do it as the motion because it's conditional upon the receipt of a variety of things that we have outstanding from Mr. Baradas.
Thank you, Justin. Any questions, Jim?
No. No.
Anita, any questions?
None?
None from mine?
Actually, just one. And are any of the outstanding items critical?
Yes, I would say there's fees, past the quarry, largely fees on
Have
Follow
there
police
been
chief.
reasons why they're still outstanding?
I think Mr. Baradas had come to the town to see if there was a way to sort of mitigate some of the expenses of the fees. One thing that for example, when we were considering this in December, he would have had to apply to get a new license, but also then pay for a renewal in this year as well. So it would have been
Understand
more
that,
expensive.
yeah.
This would just require the one fee now that is in January. So I think that was the large part of the discussion.
Okay.
And also, he waited a couple of months. He initially contacted our office, and then waited a couple of months to decide what he wanted to do. So that's largely the reason.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have no other questions.
With no other questions, I will take a motion to approve the new taxi license for Jose Transportation LLC.
I move that we approve a new taxi license for 2024 for Jose Transportation LLC, conditional upon receipt of all required documentation, inspections, plural, and payment of fees.
I will second.
Hearing a second, further discussion? None. All those in favor say aye.
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 That is unanimous. Thank you. Our next item tonight is to consider a Chapter 61 right of first refusal option for 14 Baltimore Street, Justin.
Yes, so the Select Board considered this agenda item at its October 17th meeting. The board asked me to reach out to all the relevant departments, take a look at this, so we did, but we also did some further research with Town Council, and one thing that the town wasn't really privy to was this Chapter 61 was part of a legal agreement. And It was the advice of town council that we do not exercise our right of first refusal because we would become now a party of this legal quagmire. So,
Family dispute.
yeah, before we did that, though, all the boards and commissions took a vote generally on this, and a majority of them said they weren't interested in the parcel. The Conservation Commission did say they were interested. I spoke with Caitlin after we got that other information. She's aware, the Conservation Commission is aware, and so we're all in agreement that we should not execute this right of first refusal, as recommended by town council as well.
Thank you, Justin. The only question I had on this was it was cited that the land that's owned extends into Millis as well. Have they been approached with a right of first refusal requests?
Yeah, and they're not executing as well.
Thank you. Any other questions, Anita?
Not
None
this
here.
time.
Very good. So in that case,
I will make a motion. Comfortable?
I was just reviewing to see what it was we need to make a motion on, but you seem very confident, so go right ahead.
It's a simple one, actually.
I move that the board decline to exercise its right of first refusal on 14 Baltimore Street.
Second.
Hearing a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that is unanimous as well.
Mr. Chair, just one thing to add to this as well. I did also, as I mentioned at the October 17th meeting, I've started to sketch out a draft outline of how to approach, how we will handle these in the future. And so I will present that at a future board meeting. I did have collaborated with the various boards and commissions, and they think it's a good approach to handle this in the future.
Excellent.
Fantastic, thank you, Justin. That'll bring us to our discussion items and our general updates. Justin, what do you have from the town administrator's perspective tonight?
I don't have much to add for the general, from the town administrator aspect of this thing. Sorry.
No.
Nothing to add tonight.
No news is good news in some cases.
Wait, no, actually, sorry, I take that back. We are releasing the town newsletter. It's going to be on the town website. We're excited about this. This is the second iteration of it. We hope that residents take a look at it. Sorry.
Oh, that's perfect, thank you. The newsletter has been a big hit, by the way, so everybody who's contributed and doing work for it, I mean, we've been getting great feedback from across the community, so thank you.
Very true, yeah.
From a select board update perspective, I have two quick things tonight. The first one is that the Troop 80, our local Boy Scout troop, they're doing their annual Christmas tree pickup. That's going to be on Saturday, 1/6. That costs $5 for seniors, $15 for everybody else. If you're interested in having them come and pick up your Christmas tree, just send an email to treestroop80@gmail.com. That is 80, the number, @gmail.com. The second one I have is that it is the time of year where the Norfolk Lions hold their annual Person of the Year vote. They're currently accepting nominations for individuals who have gone above and beyond for our community. If you would like to submit a nomination, I believe that Sean Simpson posted the link to be able to do so with the form on the community page. If not, we'll make sure that it's back up there, or you can reach out to one of your friendly Norfolk Lions and they'll be able to direct you in the right place. Jim, any updates for tonight?
No, not really, other than just we're going to have a massive recognition of the King Philip Super Bowl champion football team at the school committee meeting, which will be this coming Monday night. Wouldn't be a bit surprised if we have every single player there. So it'll be just a wonderful night to be able to recognize the tremendous accomplishments of that team. This is their third, I believe, Super Bowl victory, which is pretty something.
Absolutely.
For a school the size of King Philip. So, no, nothing else.
Thank you, Jim.
And the only thing I wanted to say was we had that pretty impressive storm come through, and so many town departments, whether it was the library opening their doors or the DPW who was working 24/7, just did a remarkable job. And once again, it made me really proud to live in such a great little town. So thank you to everybody who went above and beyond for that storm, and to our residents as well who reached out and said, I have a generator if you need your sump pump working, and I have this room in my freezer if you need this. Like, it was just such a beautiful. It was beautiful to see our community come together in difficult situations. That made me proud.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
And if I may, I will shout out a thank you too. As Kevin mentioned, the Norfolk Lions, both he and I are Lions. And I didn't mean to leave you out. I don't
No,
know.
I'm not a lion.
I was afraid to ask. I apologize. But I want to thank everybody for the tremendous support we always get for our Christmas tree efforts. While we sit there and sometimes suffer in the cold weather and so on, it is actually a fun event, meeting people and talking with people and seeing the kids celebrate. It's a wonderful event. It was a record year for us. We had more trees and sold more trees than ever before. And I can assure you those funds go to good use. The Lions do great things. So thank you all for your support.
And none of the trees went jettisoning off people's cars as they drove out either, so that's
We only
a win.
guarantee it to the corner.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so now we'll move on to our report of the warrants, where we will accept a motion to approve.
I move that we approve the warrants as printed in the agenda.
Second.
Hearing a second, any further discussion? None, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. And our minutes.
I'll just keep going. I move that we approve the minutes from the meetings of October 3rd, 2023 and October 17th, 2023.
Second.
Hearing a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that is unanimous as well. Justin, anything else for us this evening?
Nope, we will just have our regularly scheduled meeting January 23rd now. That's it.
January 23rd is our next meeting. Fantastic. Amanda, anything else for us? Very good. In that case, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Yes.
So moved. Do we hear a second?
Second.
Hearing a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening
Happy New Year.
and a happy new year.
I'm sorry, I
New Year
stayed
to
up to
both of
watch
you.
the